Hello, welcome to American Baker in Germany. I'm Michelle, and I have a very special tutorial for you today. I haven't revealed a whole lot about my background, and that has led to a lot of assumptions that people have made about me, that many of which are not true. So I thought I'd just clear up a few of those things today. This is kind of a Q&A, but most of the questions were not directly asked. So I do want to address a couple of things. Number one assumption is people assume that I have my own bakery, that I sell my cakes. That is actually not true. I don't sell my cakes. In Germany, it is very strictly regulated on who is allowed to sell cakes and who is not. In order to sell my own cakes, I would need two things that I do not have. Number one is, they're both showstoppers. Number one is I would need a 3-year completed apprenticeship as a pastry chef. No, I don't have it. Number two is I would need a commercial kitchen that is separate from my private kitchen. I also do not have that. Both of those are showstoppers. I cannot sell my cakes. So no, I don't have a bakery. No, I do not sell my cakes. If you notice that most of my videos I explained at the beginning who the cake is for, and most of the time when I explain it, I don't always say it, but if I do explain it, then I will say it is for friends or family. I am allowed to bake for friends and family. That is allowed. Sometimes I will accept compensation for the amount of money that I have paid for the ingredients, but I do not get paid for my cakes. I am not allowed to get money and profit from my cakes. So that is one of the major assumptions that people have been making. But no, I am just a regular old person working in my regular old dining room, because there's no room in the kitchen, to make and decorate my own cakes. The reason I got into it is because of my children. When my first daughter was born and it came close to her first birthday, I realized that I wanted to make her birthday cake. But I had never decorated a cake before. I didn't even know where to start. So my first decorated cake was very simple. But it was a start, and that's how I got into it. Slowly over time, I got more ambitious, I got more confident, and I began to be able to make things that were in the direction of professional. I don't claim to be able to make things as good as the professionals do, because I am not a professional, and that's not actually the point of my videos. The thing is, if I am able to make these things, to decorate these cakes, in my tiny little kitchen, in my tiny little dining room, anybody can do it. You might need a little tiny bit of equipment, and I will show you what I use. But in general, this is something that anybody can do. Regular hobby bakers at home. None of the things that I make are meant to be super duper professional, because I am not a professional baker. So, what do I do? That's the question. I actually studied mathematics. Yes, I'm a mathematician, or at least I was at one point. I have my master's in science and mathematics, and I work in IT. I'm a computer geek. Yeah, that's what I do. That's what makes my bread and butter. Cakes are just a hobby. It's just fun for me. But what I realized is, if I am not able to sell my cakes to the people who might want them but can't necessarily make them themselves, how about I share what I have learned? I share my knowledge with those people so they can make it themselves, and then they won't have to order it from a ginormous bakery and cost them hundreds of dollars. So that was my main motivation behind making the videos. So that was my couple major assumptions cleared up right there. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that that helps you also to realize that you can do it too. If I can do it, you can do it. It might take some practice, it might take a little bit of time. And yeah, I'm making videos with very little equipment. The reason I got into making videos, there were two major things that got me into it. Number one is a couple years ago, my brother passed away, and I inherited his very nice professional camera. I love it. I love this camera. I was scared to touch it for the first 6 months, and then a friend of mine helped me figure out how to use it, and I started using it on my blog. I've had a blog for longer than I've had the videos. I've had the YouTube channel. So then I lost my job, and my husband suggested that during that time, why don't I start my own YouTube channel, just for fun. Give me something to do, so I don't just sitting around at home all day doing nothing. So that's what I decided to do, and I bought myself a cheap video camera, which I'm using right now. So if it's sometimes out of focus and sometimes not working properly, you get what you pay for. So I can't really say much to that, except that I need to buy a new one someday. But yeah, this is how I got my start. It's just that I want to share with other people how to make these things at home. My purpose is not to show off, is not to say, oh, look how professional I am, how perfect everything looks, because look at it twice and you will be able to see flaws. I mean, there are flaws in everything that I make, and I think that's true of most people. But it's okay as long as the person that you're giving it to is happy with it. Who cares about the flaws? It's not important. And that's what I wanted to bring over to you today, is just keep working, keep trying. If you are trying a little bit and you think that it looks terrible, it happens. Listen, I've had people telling me, oh, I can't bake because when I bake it always turns out too over-baked and it gets too dark on the outside. You really think I've never done that? I'm just saying, of course I've done that. Let me tell you a secret. Over-baked cakes are savable. Cut off the black part. It still tastes good. I've done it before, and I'm pretty sure most people have. So things like that. How can you know these things unless somebody tells you or you try them yourself? And so this is me trying my own things, trying to show you new things that I've tried. Am I successful? Does it look perfect? No. I'm not going for perfection though. I'm going for possible. I'm going for I can do this too. And I hope that I inspire some of you sometimes. And if I do, please tag me on Instagram. I would love to see your work. So that is my message I'm leaving with you today, is keep trying, keep fighting. You don't have to be professional to do this. So see you again next time.